Just a reminder that Justin Muccelli will be running a pro league beginning this Wednesday at Central Park in Schenectady. The league will run for 20 weeks, and while it is a pro league, all skill levels are welcome. They'll be drawing cards at 5, so get there before that, Corey. Welcome to the Hudson Valley Disc Golf Podcast. This week, we're joined by Jason, Corey, Randy, Jaimen, and Tim. Evan should be on after Prospect Dubs, and Alex is at Wilcox League, so he may or may not be on later. We got a few things to talk about this week. Alex's first round ever at Hyzer. Maybe we'll talk about that if he's here. And the DisCap Monthly. We also have an update on the Winter Battle Royale. There was a SkipAce event and the 2025 NADGT Exclusive at Wild West Ranch presented by MVP Discs. Anything going on this weekend, like events-wise?
April showers.
April showers at Hyzer Creek, yep.
Anything else? Actually, I have an event this weekend I'm going to at Riverside in Port Jervis.
Also the Southern Tier Open down in Binghamton.
Okay.
Right, Jaimen? You going to that?
Yep.
Good. You took Kyle with you.
We got to give somebody else a chance to win or they're going to stop playing tournaments all the time.
You couldn't take Peter Hodge with you too or something?
Sorry, I guess you're going to actually have to beat somebody to win, Corey.
Yeah.
Corey, what are you playing, April Showers?
Yeah, I'm playing April showers.
Word on the street is we're taking Ethan, too.
Does he play MA1?
I don't know. Depends on the day.
I just heard that Evan left Prospect Dubs to make it on here, and his team was in a playoff for first.
Oof.
He left before
finding that out, yes. So we'll see if he knows when he gets on here.
Be a first breaking the news to somebody that they just skipped out on a playoff.
That's awesome. All right. I have a question. This goes back to last week when I was in editing, and I might have misheard this and I might not understand. Does running a NIFA event get you an invite to the finals?
Yes.
It does. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that was quicker in a response than I was. Because Jason asked the question, like, it didn't seem like he was aware of that. So I didn't know if that's a regular thing. That's pretty cool.
I didn't know that. I learned it on the podcast. So thanks, guys.
Yeah. It's like written in the rules, but like generally the people who are running NIFA tournaments already have several reasons that they're allowed into the tournament. So it's, I don't think it's really broadcast too much.
Well, it is now.
Twice.
Yeah. The other bit of news was that, Corey, you messaged us letting us know that the Empire Open has been officially canceled.
Yeah, forgot when that was, last Monday or Tuesday or something like that. I got the refund from Flying Mile, whatever, Dylan Reese. I got my refund. And he sent out an email kind of saying that, he had to basically low participation. He was just going to scrap it for this year and look at ways to, change it in the future. Hopefully get more participation or whatever. But yeah, I was hoping to play it. I mean, other than Team Challenge, you don't really have much opportunities to play match play, and it is kind of like a fun way to do it. So hopefully whatever happens in the future works out better.
I like the idea. Any idea why you think the participation was too? I mean, I know we had a little bit of a discussion on this, but
I thought that the lower price would have been enough. Like enough people played it last year. I thought that just knocking it down a bit would have been a good way to get just at least a few more people. But I don't know. Maybe if like more of the people in the state played Team Challenge, maybe they'd be more interested in match play. Maybe people don't really play match play ever, and we're just kind of like I don't want to say numb to it, but like I'm sure 80% of disc golfers have never played match play before.
Really?
At least, like in New York State. I'm just making that up. But
Corey, how often do you play it when you're not playing in Team Challenge? Do like you and Brian ever play it or anything like that?
I'm not going to say no. Maybe a couple times or not very often, that's for sure. But two Team Challenge leagues that take 6 months of the year or whatever it is, it's pretty good.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought it was a great idea. Maybe he just started out too big, basically doing the entire state, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe like double elimination, a lot of matches, traveling, etc. But that was a solid one.
It also seemed geared towards maybe not the high level player, but the higher level player for certain. It really wasn't appealing to me, for example.
Right. I think that was like the whole point, was to try to pull like the top players in the state. And I guess if the top players in the state aren't interested, then there's no supply or demand.
I think that anytime you're like, hey guys, come do this thing, I don't know when it's going to end and I don't know when it's going to be either. Like that's a big swing for, a sport where a lot of us schedule our shit months and months and months in advance. It's that uncertainty of like when anything's going to really happen. It can be a good thing for some people, but I think that it might be a little bit of a deterrent for a lot of pros.
I think also with the higher rated player, they're the ones that are also playing most every week. And I'm just using you guys as an example. You know, Corey, you play 20 something plus tournaments a year.
Not a lot of free weekends. Yeah.
Yeah. Or you'd have to do a match during the week. And then with, especially the later you get, the farther you got to travel. And yeah, you guys make some good points. Evan, you just came from Prospect Dubs.
Yes, I did.
Did you hear the news?
I don't know. What's the news?
Randy, do you want to tell him?
How did your playoff for first go, Evan?
I'm sure Brandon did well. I asked him, I was like, hey, is it cool if I take off? Because I hadn't looked at the leaderboard. And he said something about Sean and Earl. I was like, all right, see you guys. Well, hopefully we just split the money.
You're a great partner.
I was there for the important parts, apparently. I don't know. It was a good round. It was definitely ham and eggs the whole time, and we both made some big putts. It was very windy. We played with Greg, and that's always fun.
What was the other team? Did you guys already say?
I can tell you. The other teams in the playoff were Pete Cornish and Adam Nelson and Sean Dollard and Earl Steenberg.
Whoa, six-way.
Okay, six-way. Sorry. Yes.
Do you know that they did play it off, or you're just saying that it finished in a tie?
Jay Gorsage himself reached out to ask how you were doing.
Whoops.
I can ask how it turned out.
Well, my bad. Sorry, everybody. I blame myself for not checking the leaderboard.
I mean, as you should. Not to go back what we just talked about last week, but you got to be responsible for yourself at some point.
True, but I've also been very vocal about the fact that I'm not playing dubs to win money, so it's not really top of mind, I guess. Brandon made it sound like we might win some money, and I was like, all right, if there is, just hold mine. I didn't really realize that we were. And I guess Struna said, wow, you guys had a good round, but I didn't know we were, I don't know. I feel like it usually takes a better score than that.
Yeah.
Prospect.
Third place will probably get you some money.
Great.
Well, hey, Brandon could have pulled it off. I don't know that he did.
Yeah, I hope they gave him a Cali shot. I don't know. 9 is not usually getting it done on Monday nights at Prospect.
No. Was it twice around or was it the full layout?
No, it's full 18.
Yeah.
Last week, there was a tie as well, -12. Dennis Daly and the Tower Power Jason Gorsage shot a -12. So did Joshua Lee and Tim Martino. We know if that was determined a winner, or did you leave too early to find that out, Evan, as well?
No, I'm usually rushing to get here. I don't want to miss any of the... Now I have to listen to the very end. I always do listen to the very end, but I get to hear stuff that I wasn't there for. The chicken riggies discussion. I missed that. I'm sorry.
You did make that comment in the Facebook post. I saw that about cherry peppers, and that's a good point.
I made chicken riggies one time, and my wife will remember this because I don't know where I found the recipe, but I used way too many cherry peppers. And that'll oof. It's, I like some heat, but there's a limit.
You could have a sore butt, yeah, sure.
So it was concluded with a CTP throw-off, and congratulations on second place, Evan.
Yes. You know how I love CTP throw-offs, Randy.
Yeah, you do like getting second or third in those. Or fourth?
Yeah, I like to be in it till the very end and then have somebody knock me out with a disc they've never laid eyes on.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Sweet. Well, great. Thanks for the breaking news, everybody.
Now, this has been a debate in the past. When you're doing doubles and there's a tiebreaker, if one person leaves, your partner was Brandon?
Correct.
Would he get 2 throws? Would he get to throw for you?
In a PDGA event, you are playing singles.
Okay.
In local dubs, I don't know. It might be up to somebody's discretion. But I don't think you'd get any better than Cali. I don't think you'd get double throws on everything.
Well, if this was just a CTP, though, right? For this one?
Yeah, I don't know if he got 2.
How would you handle it, Corey? At J-Dubs? Assuming it was getting darker, you didn't have time to actually do a legit playoff round, you're just going to do a CTP. Would that person get a second throw?
If it was just for the CTP part of the playoff, if the team was Justin Muccelli and Brendan Sisk, I would let Brendan maybe get 2. If it was Justin, no, definitely not. I'd have to think about it. I don't know. I'd have to poll the group. I would lean towards no, but overall.
All right. Sounds like Randy's right. It's basically probably a case-by-case situation. There's not a universal rule for that.
All right. So Brandon messaged me to let me know. There was a 3-way tie. We CTP'd. We got second for $30. So I owe you $15. So he's apparently not salty. Sorry, Brandon. I said, I'm sorry. Did you get 2 throws? He said, yes, they were nice. Although my first was better. So there you go. If you're going to Jay Gorsage dubs and your partner bounces on you for the CTP, then he might give you 2 throws.
All right. But if that person leaves and you're playing just a straight up playoff, you'd probably just give him Cali?
I'd probably say, tough luck, Buster. You had a bad teammate tonight.
That's man. I didn't screw you over. Your teammate did. Don't be mad at me.
I keep finding new and interesting ways to just do weird stuff, I guess.
You are literally a Q&A section of any rule-related documentation.
Yeah, it's in parentheses. It says, see Evan Parsley. But it's good for the content, I guess.
What is it? we know a thing because we've seen a thing or two or whatever.
I know a thing or two about a thing or two.
Whatever insurance that is.
We are farmers.
Bump, 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 bump.
There we go.
Oh, and for the record, Brandon said no worries, so we're cool.
All right. Well, we mentioned J-Dubs. How'd that go, Corey? It looks like another tie. Jeepers with the ties this week.
Yeah, we had another tie. And once again, it involved like Justin Muccelli. I felt kind of bad because I was really rooting against him, like in his face. And like,
Yeah, you were.
He was with Megan Mercier, which is like the nicest girl ever. And I let her know that all of my angst was, yes, directed at the team, but funneled directly towards Justin. I did not want to have to punch in disc golf scene again, another win for Justin. So it was Justin and Megan Mercier and Chad Larson and Brendan Sisk. They started on hole 2, and I think Chad hit a big putt, like 45 feet, and then Megan answered back with her own footer after going like 60 long in the hole, which if you know hole 2, her disc sailed right over the basket, almost aced it, and was in 33's fairway. They get to hole 7, and I think Chad hit like a 40-foot putt for the win, basically. Then Chad and Brendan hit the birdie bank as well, which was the first time of the year. So that accumulated about $95. So that was a good day to be a Chad or a Brendan.
Nice.
You know, I left for that playoff, but I wasn't involved that time. I will say, being on the card, to see how they got to the playoff on hole 36, Megan threw it to the white tee, which was awesome. And then Justin threw it past the basket. And I don't play with those guys much. I was just like, wow. And then pretty much parked it on 1 to force that playoff. It was a pretty exciting round.
Yeah, so they finished on 35, 36, and 1. They bogeyed hole 35, which means Justin probably tried to throw this flippy DX Eagle roller and didn't work out for him. So they bogeyed 35 and then birdie hole 36. When I saw that they bogeyed 35, I was already kind of like getting the money situated. Like, okay, they're not going to come back from this. And then they birdie hole 36. And then I think Megan hit like a 30-footer on hole 1 that Justin drove to but missed the putt, if he even did putt, to actually push the playoff. So yeah, an exciting finish. So we're 5 weeks in, and the overall standings is Justin Muccelli is in first place with 89 points, followed by Brendan Sisk with 85, and then Chad Mandriza and Chad Larson tied for third with 70 points.
What are you guys playing this week, tomorrow?
So this week, for the first time, we're going into the woods to play J East. We started at 5, and I hope that was enough. Actually, the weather should be perfect, so I think we're going to have like the best day for sunlight and weather we've had so far, so it should be a really good time.
Nice. I'm sure it was.
Yeah.
Evan, do we have a finals set up for the Winter Battle Royale?
Yes, we are finally down to our last 2 participants. And that's because Dennis Daly and Brian Monahan played their, it's the final losers bracket, I guess, semifinal, if you want to call it. They played at J South, was the layout that they mutually agreed on. I talked to Dennis tonight at Dubs, and he said it was a really great match. They started back and forth, and then Brian got 3 points on 4, 5, and 6, including Dennis said one of the best shots he's ever seen on 6 to get a birdie. Dennis fought back, got strokes back on 7 and 10. Brian got another one. Well, I'm saying the whole numbers wrong. These are the 7th and 10th holes, sorry, because they did a match play scorecard. So I do know that on hole 34, Brian said he threw a shot up to like the fence, and Dennis had a great shot out in the middle and, far down the fairway. Brian tried to go over the basketball courts, which he did barely, but was off to the right. Tried to backhand, didn't get very far, and was kind of in the crap on the right. So Dennis kind of laid up and had an easy par. Brian threw like a 40-foot forehand, apparently, through a tiny gap in the woods. It just smashed chains. Dennis said at that point he knew he wasn't going to win, and Brian took him down 3-1. So Brian gets to face Josh Lee. It sounds like they want to play Mind Kill. That might happen as soon as next weekend. I'm not sure, but Brian would have to beat Josh back-to-back because Josh is still undefeated.
When did this start? Do you remember when the first matches were held? When you guys did that, the seeding round?
Good question. It feels like a while ago at this point. We did that at Stony Kill. I feel like we're kind of right on schedule for what he said he wanted to do in terms of getting everything done. Guess that was back in early January.
Okay. And he's interested in potentially doing this again in the spring or early summer?
Yeah, he's talked about wanting to do it on a, maybe a larger scale coming up, so stay tuned.
All right. I figured we would talk about the monthly, but we'll wait for Alex for a bit on that before we start. I will point out that TGI FDR dubs, Gary Mason and Trevor Lambert both shot a -8 to tie. Maybe they did singles, or maybe they played together. I don't know. Something we haven't had in a couple weeks, SkipAce. Figured we can go over some SkipAce results.
Oh, yeah.
The last event, what was it?
The Kansas City Wide Open.
Yeah, the Grip EQ 43rd Kansas City Wide Open presented by Under Par. Before we get to the Listener League, what about the Elimination League? Let's see. I haven't looked to see.
Spoilers, it helps if you play 2 women and not just one.
We've done it. We made it to the middle of our Guillotine League. Well, I didn't. And neither, unfortunately, did Alex Potts. We celebrate the midway point with the Band of Mid-America from Scott Air Force Base in Illinois. Well, Alex, Mikey Botlez, Jaimen, myself, and Kristen aren't exactly celebrating. But maybe Corey, Evan, Jason, Randy, and Tim are. Everything will be just fine. Everything will be all right.
Oof. Does it help, though? Because you didn't really need any help, it looks like. I mean, I guess it still helps.
No, Alex only played 1.
Oh, you're talking about him? I thought you meant you.
No, not me. No, it helps if you played 2. Alex only played 1 woman.
Did they sub in for him? Because it looks like Jennifer and Katrina Allen.
Yeah, must have.
Oh, it must have. He started the weekend with only 1.
Did he have Silva in? Or he only had 1, didn't even have... Okay, interesting.
He got screwed by, his bench was worth almost nothing, basically.
Maybe that's what... When I looked at the schedule, like day 1, he only had 1 female scoring.
All right, so it looks like Alex is our most recent. So that's halfway. So he's the winner of the bottom half.
So Alex will be giving up Paul Macbeth, Isaac Robinson, Andrew Marweed, Jennifer Allen, Katrina Allen, Jeremy Coling, Mason Ford, Silva Saarinen. There's some good pickups in that team.
Remind me again when and how that works.
Tomorrow night, Tuesday night,
5 a.m. whenever Jaimen messages you.
Yeah.
I'm out of it. You guys are on your own. Good luck. $20 and I'll help you.
All right, sweet. I'll PayPal you. I'll put it in with my next tournament registration.
Basically, everybody's here, right? Corey, Jason, Randy, Tim, and Evan are the remaining 5. You're able to do waiver wire picks now or waiver order picks now, and then it'll resolve in the morning, right?
I don't know if you can make the picks now.
Yeah.
Well, don't you claim them?
Yeah, they should show up.
You got 9 hours.
Oh, wait, am I just doing this wrong?
Go to team, lineup, I think. Yeah, and then over on the right are the free agents. You can hit claim.
Oh, see, I was going to players. Like, you could go to, like, the available player list. Okay, this makes more sense.
So you can make claims now, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can.
I think you all have figured it out at this point, so I can talk about it. I've picked up people every single week. No one knew how to do it. I've filled my roster out with good players.
Did you? Because I'm pretty sure you didn't win last week, so what happened?
Who did I get? I picked up AB last week, even though I was middle. There was multiple people that could have taken him. I've gotten Katrina Allen, who I didn't deserve, but the 3 people below me didn't pick it up. So I don't know. People have not been doing the waiver wires.
They're not putting that time in. No surprise they ain't around no more.
I've got half the waivers I got and half of them I didn't get.
Actually, you can see.
Yeah, if you go to team and then waivers, it'll show you which ones you got.
I've only done 1.
So I didn't get Kristen and I didn't get AB.
I have 3 losses and 1 win so far in my waiver.
I have won all of mine. I got picked up AB, Kristen, and Cadence Burge.
That just sounds like you've been scraping the bottom of not low enough to get kicked out, but low enough to get easy waivers every time.
I think I was close the first or second week, but other than that, I think I've been kind of middle-ish.
It just goes alphabetically by last name.
Yeah, I've been sleeping on this. Apparently, I've only tried twice, and I got 1. I picked up Jessica Weiss.
Maybe I just got mine because nobody else wanted them. I don't know if anybody else wanted Casey White.
I had dumped Casey White when you picked him up.
Okay, that's probably why I got him then.
So nothing this weekend for that. Next weekend, you got the 2025 PDGA Champions Cup by OTB and MVP Disc Sports. Over in the listener pool, we made picks for once again, the Grip EQ 43rd Kansas City Wide Open presented by Under Par. 2 pages again. That's always good. 74 pickers. Looks like the still mysterious AJ came in the coveted 74th place. See who else is on the last page here. I see Flying Squirrel 72nd. Schwartz in 67th, right behind Corey Cook.
Yeah. That's about how I read it too, Brad. God damn it. I don't know what. Well, Adam Hammis and James Conrad. First of all, I'm done picking James Conrad. He's usually like my leftover pick, anyways. But there's got to be someone else that's a better leftover pick around his rating. Adam Hammis screwed me. I watched a lot of the coverage, and I actually forced my parents to watch a lot of the coverage too when I was over for Easter weekend. I don't know, like if they finished playing the other 9 holes, if that would have helped me at all. But anybody else watch the event, or did I just spoil it for you, Jomez watchers, a week late?
No, I watched all of it.
Yeah.
I liked this event way more than the previous event. Like, it was way more fun to watch.
The course looked awesome.
Like, the shit was just kind of crazy. Like, at any point, something crazy could happen, and it almost kind of did in the last round.
I'm surprised. I had Ezra Aderhold, and he was on the final lead card, and he only got me 160 points.
He blew up.
I know. He tried to go so aggressive at the end. I don't blame him. It's like an unrated round, like the chance to win a Pro Tour event. Like, go for it. But, man, he bled some strokes.
Corey, do you have the SkipAce open? Do you see who's 54th place?
You're jumping the gun there, Tim. What are you
Sorry.
You're fine.
Foreshadowing.
I do have some. I feel like now is probably a decent time to bring this up. I don't know if this is sensitive information or not, but I've given it a few weeks since first hearing about it. I learned who was behind both the Corey Me Up Cook and Corey Buns. Surprise, it was the same person for both. And I'm pretty sure they also ran their own account. So they were making picks for 3 of them.
Wait, they had 3 accounts and they didn't even do that great?
Yeah, you think they would have spread it out a bit more.
Yeah.
Anyone want to take a guess? Go around the table, take a guess.
Justin.
I feel like Justin would have told you way before. He wouldn't have been able to keep that a secret.
Jay Gorsuch.
Kyle Hirsch.
Brian.
Little AB.
David Koch.
Whoa.
Wow.
At least he took ownership of it. I have no way to prove that it actually was him, but he told me that at the first time I went to Topo this year, and I'm like, didn't have that on my bingo card today. Wouldn't have pegged David for running.
That blew my mind.
Right? I know.
Yeah.
I don't know how I waited so long to say something. I don't know how he never slipped it up. But yeah, I figured that was some HVDGP listener pool lore that just needed to be established.
Looks like the Ace Pop podcast is still picking in 60th place. Highland Mike Warner in 58th, tied with Jaimen Hume, who won an event not too long ago. Now he's tied for 58th.
Gross.
And then 54th place, the real Corey Cook. Corey spelled with a K.
Yeah, I don't like that. At least it has an E, though.
What do you like least, that it's spelled with a K or that they're beating you?
Definitely the K. Yeah, that irks me.
Yeah, just because they're ahead this week, that's just a 1 week thing. So that's
Yeah, just a flash in a pan.
52nd place, Ivan Ivan Marmota and Turtles in Your Face in 51st. But enough of these page 2 fools. Let's get over to page 1, top 50. Brian Bickersmith, 50th place. Alex Potts in 48th. Evan, 47th. O'Sherry in 42nd. Jess Lasasso, 38th, behind Brandon Klein in 37th, and Ryan Travis, 148343 in 36th. Kyle Hirsch in 32nd, behind Mikey Botlez in 31st, and Randy Bobandy in 30th place. 1,077 points, though.
I can't believe I'm getting, I hate foreshadowing. I'm getting beat by Travis Bushore, who didn't score much that first year, and now he's putting in work. I love it.
He's got somebody picking for him.
It's also David Koch.
That'd be funny.
There's 50 accounts.
He's just making up accounts of real people.
But Travis is behind Rob Weiss of the Mississippi in 27th place. Looks like a couple hundred points on you, Corey.
Yeah, that's right. I'm going to drop my week. Rob can keep that little 1098.
O'Doyle Rules in 22nd place. Tucker the Koala in 20th. I got 18th place. Good news is I'm in 18th place. Bad news is Kenji's in 17th. Tucker Rules tied for 13th with Ricardo Riverside. Kathleen Bemis in 11th. And your top 10, Brian Heller in 10th. Max Horowitz in 9th. Jason Lasasso, 8th place. Nice. Lefty Flick 21 in 7th. Alex's buddy Jack Straw in 6th. Biggs, Nick Warren in 5th. Tim, 4th place.
Good week.
Ryan Nelson in 3rd. Matt, just Matt, is in 2nd. And 1st place, Isaiah Baptista. Does anybody know Isaiah Baptista?
Nope.
Just curious if it was a made-up name.
Kind of sounds made up, but
David Koch.
So now anybody is going to be David Koch.
Yeah.
All right. So our overall standings, we have 125 total players have made picks this year. Doc Zen is in 125th place. I'd have to do some work to get on this 3rd page. Yeah, no, I don't recognize any of the names other than Jesse Owen, but that's just a singular, so not the one I was thinking of.
these are all the bot accounts that JVD spun up for testing the league. Just assign them to our league.
Right. So page 2, 51 to 100. Let's see here. David Nimmo, curious if he's any relation to Brandon. Little Jerry Seinfeld, 83rd place, behind Mikey Botlez in 82nd and Kenji Klein in 81st. Turtles in Your Face in 78th. Flying Squirrel, 72nd. Kristen McDonald in 70th. Ace Pop Podcast, 68th place. Sparky Spalding, 65th place. Highland Mike Warner in 61st. I'm in 60th, right behind Isaiah Baptista. Ivan Ivan Marmota Marmota in 57th. Ryan Travis 148343 in 52nd. And the top of the second page, Ryan Nelson in 51st place. And here we are to page 1. Amanda Dunbar in 50th. Tucker the Koala in 49th. And Jacob Dunbar in 48th. I'm not intentionally going through all of them, but Zach McDonald in 47th. I see Corey Cook 43rd. Bickersmith in 40th. Just pointing out that he's beating you. Randy Bobandi in 35th place. 32nd belongs to the real Corey Cook with a K. Do we think that that was a different name and they changed it?
Oh, that's bull. Yeah, it definitely was.
We would have seen that before, and they got way too many points. Oh, that's who it could be.
That's a good point. That's a good
because I haven't seen the real Pat Keenan,
and I've never seen the real Corey Cook. So,
all right. Jess Lasasso in 28th place behind Ricardo Riverside in 27th. George Jervis in 26th. Tim Goyette 25th place, top half of the front page. Alex Potts in 23rd behind the other half of Camel Case Corey Brian Monahan in 22nd, and Jason Lasasso 21st behind Kathleen Bemis in 20th. 19th place, we got Rob Weiss of Mississippi. Looks like 20 something places ahead of Corey. Evan Parsley 17th.
Nice.
Kyle Hirsch in 14th. Randy's nemesis Travis Bashore in 12th, tied with Byron. And Biggs, Nick Warren Biggs. Nick Warren? Biggs, a.k.a. Nick Warren, in 11th. Top 10, Jaimen Hume. That second page last week didn't do anything. He's still in the top 10. 9th place, BTB. No idea. Brian Heller in 8th. Chris Lucier in 7th. Mark Bryan in 6th. Mike Schwartz in 5th. B. Klein, as the kids call him. Brandon Klein in 4th place. Jack Straw in 3rd. O'Doyle Rules in 2nd, and back on top, Tucker Rule with 5,390 points. Dropping rounds is definitely affecting because there's like a 1,600 point difference between Tucker Rule's total points and drop score. So, but he's only like 60-something points ahead of O'Doyle Rules, who's only 3 points ahead of Jack Straw. So it's pretty tight at the top.
Yeah, look at how like Mark Bryan's in 6th. Like his total points only 55-62 as he's surrounded by some 6,900ers. His drop score is like right there. Yeah. 51-79.
All right. Same as the Guillotine League, the 2025 PDGA Champions Cup by OTB and MVP Disc Sports, May 1st through 4th is the next event. So it'll be a couple weeks for that. Anything else on SkipAce? All right. Well, SPW Dubs League, John Duda and Shane Osterlitz shot a -10 last week to win that. And Kathleen Bemis won Disc Beat Club, shooting a -4. Evan, what was this 2025 NADGT exclusive at Wild West Ranch presented by MVP Discs other than a mouthful?
It was also a tournament that I played this weekend on Saturday up in Lake George.
Tournament director Greg Hill, looks like 65 players. Was it a shotgun start?
Yes, shotgun start, 2-round B tier. I did not know a lot about the National Amateur Disc Golf Tour qualifier aspect of it. I saw that it was a B tier at Wild West, where I've played more than a couple times. I like it up there. Originally, I signed up for the Sunday tournament, which was a doubles, but I had to drop out of that for scheduling. So instead, I switched and signed up for MA40 at this B tier that was being held up at Wild West, like I said.
It's in Lake George. Is that the name of the course, just Wild West?
Yeah, Wild West Ranch. It's still listed as like a temp course. It's been there for a little while. It was used as part of States. They had a high-energy doubles event with Greg Barsby and Philo and Matt Bell a year or two ago. So it's on this property that's called like Wild West Western Town. They also do other sorts of events. There's a giant zip line. I've never seen it in use. On Saturday after lunch, there was like a wedding expo going on in the barn. It's a large property. I think it's French Mountain, if I'm not mistaken, is like there's a lot of elevation on the course because it's built on this, this really scenic property up in Lake George.
All right. I'll go through the results and then we'll hear about your round. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right. The FA3 division, Women's Amateur 3, Ashley Polsoni won that. MA3 Mixed Amateur 3, Bobby Martino shot a -1, beat Mike Warner. Let's see. Highland Mike Warner by 2-stroke. Had to mouse over it. Rachel Radiker won the FA2 Women's Amateur 2 division. Looks like there was a tie for first in the MA2 Mixed Amateur 2 division. Chauncey Germain and Ryan Lawrence. They both shot -6, but it looks like Ryan won in some kind of tiebreaker. Do you know anything about that, Evan?
Yeah, there was a playoff that was going on simultaneous to another division. Ryan won. I'm not sure how many holes his took. It might have been 4, but I know that he did take it down.
All right. Jim Burns won the MA60 Mixed Amateur 60 division by 1 stroke over John Furman. How did MA40 go, Evan?
It went well. It was a good time. Like I said, signed up for MA40, and there was a slightly larger field before the day of. I think we had as many as 6 or 7. And there was a little buzz in the group chat about Tomas Salez, who is, he lives, I think, kind of down closer to your way, Pat.
Yeah, I think he's a wedge guy, if I had to guess.
Yeah, he's Hungarian by nationality, and people in the group chat were kind of looking. He's a 934 rated player. I think he's got more career wins than I have career events. I kind of saw his name last year, I think, in States as someone who, when you sort a tournament by rating, he was up near the top there. But I wasn't, too worried. My goal for the weekend was to try and play some good golf, get some good rated rounds, and have fun at a B tier. It ended up being only 4 of us in the division, so I got to play both rounds with my buddies Terry Hudson and correspondent Joe Caron, and then as Thomas as well. The weather in the morning was pretty good for most of the first round. We started on hole 6. And I had a pretty steady round. Got a quick birdie on 7, took a couple bogeys, and then it was kind of like birdie, bogey every so often. Came in at +1. After the first round, Terry was leading at a -1. Tomas was even, and I was 2 strokes ahead of Joe, who was +3. That +1 at Wild West was a 904 that day, which definitely is helping me. I'm 860 right now, trying to raise my rating. I think my goal, I said, was 30 points or 28 points to be specific this year. Towards the end of round 1, it started raining a little bit and rained throughout lunch. So I hung out in my car and ate my lunch, got ready for round 2. Rained a little bit towards the beginning of that round, but it then stopped and started to warm up a little bit. Round 2, we started on hole 4, and I went par, bogey, double bogey, bogey. So right away, I was +4 after 5 holes. But I said, all right, let's just try and take it one shot at a time and see how well, I can finish this round out. And I came in at the end of the round at -1. So I had 5 birdies after that and no more bogeys. That was a 919. I stayed ahead of Joe Caron by 1 stroke, so I finished in 3rd. And Terry and Tomas finished the second round. They were both tied at -4 after Terry had a couple of dramatic long birdie putts to force a playoff. So they started a playoff on hole 1. Ryan's playoff was going on at the same time, as you mentioned. I didn't follow them for the hole, but they did go 4 holes. They finished on hole 15, which is an island shot there. And I guess Terry missed the island. Tomas made it. And so he won in a playoff. It was a great day. I had a lot of fun playing with those guys. It was my best, 2 of my 3 best rated rounds ever. Round 2 was a 919. So I averaged out to a 912. And I just feel really great about that. Really happy about the fact that I finished strong after a tough start in round 2. Played smart and, scored when I could.
You had a 901 at that last tournament that you won?
Thatcher, yeah, I think that's correct.
Did the 904 and 919, did they feel better? You thought that was kind of a high rating for that. I was just curious if you felt that,
Yeah, they definitely did. Like I said, I've played there a few times, and I think those are +1 and -1 are my 2 best rounds there. So to do that on the same day felt really good. I think during the round, I didn't really have that sense because, again, I didn't turn on the overall scoring. I mean, you can kind of tell how it's going by who's got the box, but even towards the end of round 2, I was tempted to look, and I said, it doesn't matter. I'll wait till the last hole, and I saw at the last hole that I was tied with Joe Caron for, 3rd. I parred, he bogeyed, so I took him by 1 stroke to not finish in last. So looking back, it definitely felt like 2 stronger rounds than I had at Thatcher. But while I was playing, I was just chilling and trying not to make any big mistakes.
Yeah. It's rarely a hero shot that gets you the good rating. It's the, like Jaimen was saying last time, a sound, consistent play.
Real quickly, Terry Hudson wanted to make sure everybody knows on hole 10, which has double OB the whole way, it's gradually downhill along par 4. He had the best drive, and then he 3-putted to take a 5 with the rest of us. And everybody just needs to know that Terry 3-putted from 40 feet. And I'm only saying that because he was going around telling everybody at the tournament, and I told him I was definitely going to mention it on the podcast. So there you go, Terry.
I feel that.
Yeah, we've all done it.
Yeah, Randy, you just did it last week, right?
Yeah, I do it once a tournament, it feels like.
I say it to a lot of people now, but I feel like maybe it started with Randy or maybe it was started with David. But like I started telling people, everyone always hears good putt, whatever, on the 25 footers. I tell people good putt on the 10 footers. And I tell them that those are the ones you want to make, or those are the ones you have to make. Everyone's like, oh yeah, 18 footers, those ones you got to make. No. The 10 footers. I'm seeing too many 10-foot misses. Those are the ones you got to make.
I've seen like 3 of the worst 10-foot spit outs in the last like 2 or 3 weeks. It's crazy. It's going around. One of them was Beekline tonight at Dubs, but I made the putt, so we were good.
Imagine just being the person releasing that disc. That's the feeling when you got to watch it yourself.
Don't feel good, that's for sure.
No.
Looks like Cadence Moore won the FA1 Women's Amateur 1 division, and Jeremy Kasprick, Alex's favorite amateur disc golf player, won the MA1 division by 1 stroke over Charles Carpenter Jr. III and Zachary McDonald. Anything else on the 2025 NADGT Exclusive at Wild West Ranch presented by MVP Discs, Tournament Director Greg Hill in Lake George, New York, United States?
I think a percentage of each division's winners or top finishers got qualified to go to Texas for something. So congratulations to those people. And the players packs, you could pick a detour or a trail, which was cool. So I took a trail. It was fun. Like I said, I like playing there. I don't know about everybody else, but I enjoy that course and I played pretty well.
I dig it. Jason, you ran Disc Golf Journey League this week. How'd that go?
Yeah, I did. Jess was at Massachusetts playing the Oakham Gala, so I got to take the reins on the weekly league. We had 3 divisions. 3 players showed up in each division. Taking down the red was Mike Warner. Taking down white was Zach McDonald. And in the gold division, Justin and I had a 1-hole playoff, which he took with the birdie. So congrats to all them.
Nice. And Randy, registration open for Mindkill, AMSide?
Yeah, it did. It's fully open for everybody. And as a few minutes ago, we were at 46. Gonna refresh the page. Nope, still 46, but that's pretty good for the first hour and a half of it being open. So yeah, if you're hearing this on Friday and there's still spots, go ahead and sign up.
Any other events or anything coming up?
The Volunteer Opens in a couple of weeks. That's still slowly filling up. But yeah, besides that, it's tournament season.
What courses is that played at?
Jenkinsville Disc Golf Course and Moreau.
I just got a Google search to see how far that is. Curious. I assume it's got to be like 2 hours, but we'll see.
At least, yeah.
Looks like Nick Warren and John J.P. Hafner shot a -14 at Wilcox Tuesday Dubs last week. And Alex, did you play Stony Kill Dubs last week?
I did play Stony Kill Dubs last week.
How'd that go?
Hello, everyone. I'm here now.
Hey.
So I got matched with the same person I did last week and took second again, just like we did that week as well. So a little bit frustrating, but that's how it goes. And we still played pretty well. Like we shot 9 down this week. Winner was 11 down, and it was Rory Tice again who beat us. So if you're going to be that consistent, then you're going to be that consistent. I played with Jacob Johnson, and he played with Joe Jelinas, who is a classic Stony Kill player.
But it's a points series, right? So second place, that's good.
Yeah, I'm still getting a good chunk there. Not upset with the second place finish. And, my goal with weekly doubles is always, did I get enough money to pay for next week? And if I did, then I'm happy.
So we found out after we recorded last week that the monthly was going to be at Hyzer Creek, and you were planning on playing on the same day. Did you actually play in the monthly, or did you just play a practice round?
I did go up for the monthly. I figured, might as well, if we're already up there, might as well, put my name in the hat for some payouts one way or another. But looking at who showed up, it was a good chunk of very solid pro players. So I was pretty sure I was going to be donating cash one way or another, but can't complain too much about getting a good round in with a lot of people who know the course really well.
Does anybody know how it got to Hyzer Creek, first of all? Because, like I said, we record on Monday, and what was it, Tuesday? They posted about it?
Something like that, yeah.
It's before April showers and maybe even before Battle of Saratoga. The monthly will usually make its way to Hyzer that month, April or October.
All right. Looks like Joseph Kowalik won the rec division. Actually, looks like he tied Travis West. I don't know if there was any kind of tiebreaker on that.
I think there was, but I was not sticking around for it.
All right. You pulled an Evan. That's fair.
Classic Irish goodbye.
Also, this is the week of ties because the AM division, David Chaikin and Zachary Jordan both shot even par to tie, and we don't know who won that. Alex, you and Jaimen were going to go play. Did you guys end up playing on the same card?
Yeah, I actually, I mentioned to Jeff when I signed in, like, hey, if Jaimen ends up here, then if you wouldn't mind putting me on the same card, I would appreciate it. And since there were 10 of us in total playing pro, that was basically a coin flip anyway. But we ended up with a pretty solid card. It was myself, Jay Gorsage, Jeff, Jaimen, and
Tyler Calzada.
Yeah, Tyler Calzada, which is, can't ask for a better card.
What a great card.
Yeah.
Randy,
What?
does he even listen?
No. Oh, no, he does.
Bro's a major glazer.
Say, if he doesn't listen, that's how you know it's true love, how much he talks about him.
No, I'm pretty sure he listens every week.
So, Alex, how was your round? Your first ever round?
What'd you think of the
first ever
course?
round. So I scheduled out that I was going to be there, a little bit before 10 o'clock. And then about halfway there, I realized this is a classic DisCap run monthly, which means they're probably not even going to start taking registration until 10 o'clock. So I realized I was going to be there pretty early compared to when I actually needed to be there. So I got there. Jeff was just getting out of the car and getting set up, which, makes sense. I asked him, what's a good like short loop that I could play while I'm waiting for you guys to get set up? And he said, you can play 1 through 4, and then from 5's T-pad, you can walk over to 9 and then play that and you'll be right back here. So, I started playing through, played hole 1, and I'm like, all right, this is reasonable. Hole 2, nothing too crazy. Hole 3 was fine. Play hole 4, and as I'm walking up around the corner, I'm like, I see a T-pad. I don't see a basket, but I see a T-pad. I'm like, I don't really know where I'm supposed to be going here. But, the basket was tucked away off to the left. Yeah, that was sort of the first encounter I had with Hyzer's sort of unique design choices, which I don't know if I would have made that choice, but, that's how it goes. So I played through that. I got my loop in, headed back, was practice putting with everybody else for a while, but didn't feel like anything was too crazy, at least going into the very beginning of the round. Started off, I did the same thing I had done in practice on hole 1, where I just threw it straight into the ground, which is a safe play, but not what you're trying to do most of the time. Hole 2 I was able to get, hole 3 I was able to get. Feeling like things were pretty scoreable. Missed hole 4, but got hole 5. And then hole 6 rolls up, and it feels like it's another pretty reasonable chance at birdie. Jaimen's been giving me advice the whole time of, like these are the things to avoid, these are the errors to make. And what he told me for this one was just like, you need to throw it harder than you think you need to, because, it's uphill and, you're going to need to put a little more on it. So I did. I stepped up with the tempo, went forehands, put a pretty good pump on it, and hit the basket on the fly for the ace.
It was a forehand? Oh, I love to hear that. At first I was like, I forgot what I said in the group when whoever posted it, but or Jaimen posted a picture, I think maybe. And like, no way this guy goes to Hyzer Creek one time and gets an ace. But that forehand is the same play I do it. I don't feel like not a lot of people do that. So
yeah, I mean, it seemed like the thing to do. There wasn't much to worry about other than make sure I get it there. So yeah, I was feeling good about that. The issue is now I feel like I can just never play that hole again because, I've only ever aced it. I've only ever thrown the disc once on that hole. And I feel like if I ever try to do it again, obviously it's not going to live up to it. I guess we're going to have to do it at least one more time for the tournament.
So you're -5 through 6?
-5 through 6. And, that's just sort of barely keeping pace with a lot of the other players. A lot of people are, 4 down, 5 down, that sort of thing already, just from getting birdies on all the holes that you're supposed to get birdies on. But then I start cooling down, 7, 8, 9, I get pars. 10, I take a stupid bogey off trying to be super aggressive, going for the birdie, but ended up in the woods. 11, stopped the bleeding a bit with a par. 12 comes up, and, that's one of the ones that I had heard a lot about where, it's a super cool downhill shot where you're just sort of throwing it as hard as you can. And of course, the one hole where I really get to open up and show off the power, I just totally fluff the shot and throw it into the weeds off on the left.
Like high, like did you like throw it high and it was fading and you're like, oh god, it's only got one place to go and that's in the woods, or like did it?
It was the classic like scoop motion.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I need to throw downwards, so I'm keeping my arm down, and then as soon as I let go, I start straightening up and going upwards. So threw it on like 45 degrees of hyzer up in the air. So there was no chance it was going to be anything but in the weeds.
And you're saying weeds, but you mean the forest, right?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
No, they're
Okay,
really bad.
I'm picturing this thing in the air, moving left in the wind. That there probably is either a headwind or a crosswind, and you're hoping that you can even find the disc.
Yes, that is exactly what the thought was.
Okay, that sounds much more like what I was picturing.
Yeah, no. So yeah, Jaimen's like, you should probably throw a provisional because that one might be lost. And 12 is one of those holes where everybody's sort of feeling like they want to throw half their bag off it anyway. So I try to do something a little better, and don't I do basically the exact same thing. Luckily, this one was a little better. It was just on the edge of the woods as opposed to 30 feet in, 60 feet in, whatever the original one was. So I knew I had that as a backup just in case we couldn't find the first one, but Jaimen was able to track that one down, luckily enough. But yeah, everybody was throwing extra discs off that one, and Jaimen ripped one to like 550 or something like that, almost to the entrance of the gap there.
They were all provisionals. We were definitely playing by the rules at this monthly.
Yeah, none of us could see our discs, so we had to throw provisionals to make sure that we, had a disc that we could find.
You definitely don't want to walk back up that hill.
Exactly.
After throwing it 700 feet into the creek.
Yeah.
Sounds like a bunch of disc golf nerds using the rules to their advantage, but that's just me.
Potato.
We were able to find my disc. It took me 2 throws to get out of the woods, and then I threw it in the creek and ended up taking a 7 on the hole, which is obviously not what you're trying to do, but I'm still riding high off the ace. So I'm not happy about it, but I'm not that upset. From there, I was able to clean out things up a little bit, got a couple of birdies, evened it out with a couple of bogeys, and finished with a bird on 18, which is always good with that tiny gap that you have to throw through. So
Did you go backhand or forehand?
Good. I went
Backhand.
forehand with that. Or did I go backhand?
Really? I thought I was the only one that forehanded that hole.
You
There
forehand
were
that
5
hole?
of us. I do, yeah.
There were 5 of us, and I don't remember what I did. I feel like I had stepped up in forehand, but I just kind of threw it. I probably would have forehanded it just because I wanted to make sure I hit the gap.
Yeah, I'm not going back in that gap. Hell no.
Oh, my bad. I guess I zoned out.
I don't know. Honestly, I could have been either way. But yeah, ended up at -1. But the real prize was hitting the ace pot for something like $415. So yeah, can't complain about my score when I'm taking home that sort of paycheck.
And you better literally never not pitch in for an ace pot for at least the next 3 to 5 years.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Like, no excuses, even if it was $10.
Yeah, no, my ace pot is funded for several years.
Nice. So you ended up tied for 6th with Charles Gordon Jr. the third at -1.
Mm-hmm.
Jaimen, how was your round?
Pretty solid. At the beginning, I was starting to get a little bit worried because Alex was like suddenly 5 down after 6 holes. I was like, shit, I need to stop like giving him advice. But, it's Hyzer. I know how that course goes, and just knowing that I had played the course a million times, there were going to be situations where I was going to have an easier time dealing with. But yeah, played pretty good. My putting was on. My drives really didn't land me in trouble, I think, at all. I think the one drive that got me in a little bit of trouble was like hole 18, and it was one of those drives where you hit 20 feet away and then roll to like 50 feet away kind of thing. So it was a pretty stress-free round. Like Alex said, great card to play with. So it was fun. It was nice to get out there because I'm not playing in the tournament this weekend. So, just ratchet up the FOMO a little bit as I drive out to Binghamton.
When you walk up to the course that day, what are you thinking you're going to shoot? You have a number in your head or no?
No, Hyzer is a course where if you play it 2 times in a row, you could shoot 8 under and then even and throw almost identical shots. It can be super tough to birdie if you're not perfectly online all the time. So I just kind of go there hoping to execute my shots and feel confident on my drives. Because, being such a wooded course, you can really start to get nervous about your shots really quick if something's not working. You're like, oh crap, like my straight shot's not working and I only need that on 12 of the remaining 14 holes. So it can be a mental battle. So I just try to, I don't put too many expectations on any of my rounds out there. I'm just trying to execute.
Heck yeah. Looks like the Tower of Power, Jason Goyette shot a -2, came in 5th place. Austin Swartout and Justin Michelli shot a -3. They tied for 3rd. Tucker Kozlowski came in 2nd at a -6. And Jaimen ended up with a -8 with 1 bogey. And I assume since Alex made $400 on 1 shot, you must have made much more than that for winning the entire monthly, right?
No, man. I caddied for an ace and I won it. And I still made like a 1/6 of it. But no, it's nice. I like monthlies. I got like $80 for playing 1 round of disc golf. Like, that's a good day. That's a good morning.
Right. Did you guys play a second round or doubles or anything after, or no?
No, that was something I didn't mention. So when I got there, it's nice and warm. It's sort of cloudy, but from my research the night before, it seemed like it wasn't supposed to rain. And then people start checking the radar, and it's supposed to hit us really hard at like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, right when we were planning on starting. So we pushed the start time back until about 11:15, 11:30 to dodge, the heaviest part of the rain. So the first 5 or 6 holes, we all had our umbrellas out and stuff like that. But by the time we hit the back 9, it was pretty much done raining for the rest of that round. But then it was supposed to pick up again probably half an hour after we finished the round. So we had that nice little gap where we finished our round, but I don't think anybody really wanted to stick around for a second one in the rain.
Nope. Alex let me borrow one of his umbrellas because I am still in like winter mode in my car. So yeah, after that one round, I was out.
Does anybody know when the next monthly is, the May monthly, or has that not been assigned yet?
I don't think it's been determined yet. I think the only ones that are determined are Porcupine Springs in July, and then there's one at Elka Park, like Hunter Mountain-ish in the fall, I think either September, October. But
Awesome.
Yeah, May is still TBD. If somebody has any great ideas and wants to run one, post it up on DisCap. I'm sure I'd love to have somebody else do it, but if not, we'll have to figure something out.
All right. Well, thank you, Jason.
All right, thanks, guys.
Peace.
Thanks. So one of the benefits to doing this, we can go back in time for a moment. I'd like to take you all back to March 29th, 2025. And since we have him here, I was hoping to hear from Mr. Tim Goyette about your round at the Blatnick Breeze 8.
Oh, so Blatnick, I don't know. I used to hate playing there. I don't know why, but it was always, I don't know. The course is fine. It's fun when it's that time of year, but it's always windy and cold, so it's always miserable. But going into that, I woke up that morning and thought I was going to withdraw from the tournament because I've been having some crazy leg pain for the last 2 months, and I woke up and I could barely get around the block walking the dog. So I thought I was going to withdraw that morning. So I laid on the floor and I text Evan and I text Brian. I was like, I'm going to be there a little late, probably pretty close to check-in. And I just like stretched out for 45 minutes. And, I guess that's when I was talking to Kenji that morning, it's pretty much what MA40 is, I guess, just waking up in pain. So the round started off, I was on a card with Joe Caron, Aaron Hopi, and Eric Heinel. Tucker's Rules. That's his owner, right?
Mm-hmm.
But because he was in town, Greg Kurtz and Tim Giardini walked with our card because I guess they were playing the Fools Fest on Sunday and they wanted to hang out with him while he was in town because he lives out in Las Vegas now. So we started on hole 7, which is a par 4 down the side of the telephone lines. It was fine. We were all playing well. And then we get to hole 8, which is a big old uphill, 250-foot shot. And all 4 of us are pretty much in line off to the left-hand side of the basket. Probably all of us are about 35, except for Eric's like 15 feet away. He's got a park job. And I lay up just to sit down because I'm up past the basket up to the left, probably 35 feet away. So I just lay up to the bottom of the pin, just like take my par, get out of there. Don't worry about anything. And I throw it perfectly, exactly the way I want it. It's slanting down with the hill. It's just going to land nice and soft right next to the pin. And it hits a piece of grass, stands up, and rolls all the way down to the white tee. So I threw back up. I took a 5. And I kind of thought when I got to the tee of hole 9, I'm like 2 holes in. I'm already 2 over. And I just thought, it wasn't anything I did wrong. Just how the disc happens. And, it's one of those things that just disc golf. So we play hole 9. I parred that. We get to hole 10. I 3-putt this from like 25 feet away. It was absolutely terrible, but it was kind of funny. While Greg and Tim were walking with us, at Blatnick, they have the exhaust pipes out of the top, and one of them was broken and like laying on the ground behind the pin. And I'm lining up my putt, and I'm sitting there, and I should have stopped and just zoned out for a second before I putted, but Greg's picking the exhaust post off the ground and like trying to put it back in the hole and like moving it around. I was laughing. It's just kind of funny to watch. But I 3-putt there. And then I bogey the next one. And I realized that I'm through 5 holes. I'm 5 over. And I was just I took a minute to myself to just be like, okay, I'm in last place after 5 holes. Just throw shots that you can be proud of. Like, stop trying to worry about anything and just throw.
You're like the reverse Alex at this point.
So that's pretty much what I did. From there on out, I just really focused on throwing clean and, just trying to be more consistent and throw it in the fairway and give myself opportunities, because Blatnick isn't like a wooded course. So you just got to put yourself in a good spot. Like hole 12 is a big old par 4 with a baseball field out of bounds, probably 350 from the tee. And you don't need to push the baseball field at all. You just throw out and then you have a nice hyzer into the green. And it's a pretty simple birdie. But I really just started throwing smooth, throwing clean. And we get to hole 18, which hole 18 is kind of like the tee's raised up. You throw into a field. There's a ton of bushes off to the left that you don't want to go into. There's a tree right in the middle, and then there's a big clump that are probably 80 feet off the tee, off to the left. So you got two different lanes you can take. And I wanted to throw a flip up hyzer with my DD3 and just push as far as I could, but I wanted to take the left gap. And I have never thrown a disc this well in my life to be exactly what I wanted it to be. It just hit the line perfectly. It flipped up. It pushed dead straight. And I'm sitting probably 10 feet shy of the big tree that's the only remaining tree that's in the fairway. That's all the way at the mouth of this fairway. I know, Pat, I don't know if you've ever played the course.
Nope.
I didn't think so. But Tim Giorgini was watching it, and he comes up afterwards and he's like, if you can throw like that, why do you play for SPW? So that was a very nice compliment. I know it was like a backhanded one, but it was very nice.
He's not wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. And then I had to tell him, like, I can do that like 3 times around, and that's about it. Birdied that hole. And then I just, like I said, I kind of zoned out and didn't really want to think about scores and just wanted to think about throwing shots that were clean. And, like I said, something I could be proud of. And I ended up finishing that round. I think I was +6. I think I ended with a bogey on hole 6. And I ended up +6, which after sitting down and thinking about it, I was +5 after 5.
Mm-hmm.
And then to come out of that +6, I think I was in 3rd place, locked up lead card for the second round. That was nice. But I think one of the big things for that round that really helped is my putting hit a different level. It wasn't too windy compared to what Blatnick is. Usually there's a little bit, not what Blatnick normally is. Usually you get like good 30-mile-an-hour winds up there, but there was here and there. But I was making 30-foot putts like it was nothing. It was really nice to have that locked in, it made the game a lot easier. Which I know Jason just logged off, but the Tuesday before this, I got matched up with him as doubles at J Park, and he didn't give me any tips. I just watched him as he was playing. And he's a machine with his putting. He does the exact same routine every single time. I think you could probably time his putt, and it comes out of his hand within the same amount of time from the time he lines it up. It's actually something to watch. I just took up mental notes. I'm like, what does he do when he's in these rounds? What does he do to putt? What does he do when he's throwing? How does he react when I throw a crappy shot and he has to step up, or when he throws a crappy shot? What's his mentality here? So I just creeped on him for the entire round to figure out like what goes through his head. And every single putt, you could just tell when he stepped up to it, you knew he was going to make it, because he had the mechanics, he had the mental game to do it. So I kind of just went into every single putt thinking I was going to make every single putt, and I made the majority of them, which is kind of fun. So we ate lunch, we go back out. Now I'm on a card with Joe Caron again, Aaron Holtby again. Oh, and Terry Hudson. So Terry Hudson is leading the round. I think he was up 2 on Joe, and then I was 3rd, 1 behind Joe, and then Aaron was 2 behind me, is what it went. And we started on hole 7 again. And again, I just told myself to throw good shots. Don't roll down the hill on 8 was one of the goals. That round was a little less eventful than anything crazy. Tim Giorgini didn't have any great compliments for me that round until we got to hole 4, which hole 4 is probably the only wooded hole on the entire course. I'm trying to think. There's a little bit of woods on 2. I guess now 13 and 14 have woods too, but it's the longest wooded tunnel, and it's kind of just a turnover mid-range for me. And you want something stable that you can turn over and it will fade back. And I hadn't really looked at the scores, but Terry and Joe were going back and forth for the last, I don't know, 2 or 3 holes about, oh, you got me on that one. Now I'm down here, blah, 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 whatever. They were kind of going back and forth about who was going to win and stuff like that. And we get to hole 1, and Terry says to me on it, it's like, now I've got to worry about Tim catching me. And I had no idea where I was. I didn't know what the score was, so I didn't really react to it.
Well, because it looks like you birdied 18 and they bogeyed it, so you picked up 2 strokes on both of them.
Yep. So another fun fact about that, getting birdies on 18 for both rounds is pretty awesome. But
I was going to say, that's tough, especially in AM, to be that consistent.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad you pointed it out, because I definitely went through my head.
Apparently I had that tee shot down pretty well, because I threw it a very similar and probably 20 feet shorter than the one to be from the first round. But the funny part about that is, in the first round, my upshot was probably 10 feet, so I didn't really have a putt. But my upshot in the second round, I was probably 45 to 50 feet away, and Terry was 5 feet in front of me. So I step up to my putt, and I just drill it. It was probably the nicest putt of the day. It just felt good out of my hand. I think it was halfway there, and Terry goes, "You just big putted me." And then he steps up and he cages it, and Joe went long. So yeah, he bogeyed that when he didn't make his comeback. So I got that and didn't realize that I was right there with them. But we get to hole 4 and everybody goes off into the crap. I think Terry went early into I think he hit a tree and shot off to the right. Joe went into the left, and then Aaron was pretty straight, but in the crap in front of him. And I think I was second on the tee, maybe third on the tee, second on the tee, because I threw after Joe, I think. And my shot was exactly what I wanted. It was just, I took my glow reactor, put it on the perfect anhyzer, and it just faded all the way through. And I was like, oh, that's really good. I'll probably have like a 25 footer. And then as I watched it, you can see kind of down the fairway, and it flashed in front of the basket. And I was like, oh, that's a pretty good shot. That could still be 35 feet short. It just looked really good. Joe goes in the crap. He ends up pitching up, but he's still 40 feet out. Aaron hits a limb right in front of him. And then Terry was throwing the disc around the fairway and couldn't figure out what he was doing. But we walk up and I'm 2.5 feet from the pin. I landed. It was the shot of like my life in disc golf for that one. It was just perfect. It did exactly what I wanted. I didn't realize how close I was to actually hitting the basket.
Now, you have 3-foot arms. Did you miss trying to put it in because your arms are too big?
Nope. That was one of the beauty. I could just reach out. I didn't even have to stick my arm out to full extension. It was like,
did you hit your head on the basket?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's hole 13. Sorry. No, not on this one. No, but it was nice. It felt good. And at the time, again, I didn't know where I was in the score. And I walk up to the tee of 5 and I was like, all right, I'll check the score. There's 2 holes left. I'll see what the score is. And I was up 1 and I had no idea. So I start freaking out because I just, never been in that situation before. But I just, on the tee, I just kind of told myself to breathe, throw a shot you can be proud of, throw a good one. I threw it out there and it was, pretty much exactly the same thing I did in the first round. It was up around all the crap and probably 45, 50, no, probably further, probably like 65, 70 feet from the pin. Everybody else throws and I'm the closest, so I get to watch what everybody does. Joe Caron's in second, so I have a 1-stroke lead on Joe Caron. Puts himself to 35, maybe a little closer, maybe 30 feet. So I just tell myself I got to be closer to the pin than he is. I throw it up, and again, I'm 1.5 feet from the basket. He makes his putt, I drop mine in, and we get to the last hole, and Terry starts talking about, oh man, I don't know what's going on. I got to see how far behind Joe I am now. And we're sitting there and he goes, oh shit, Tim's leading. So that kind of broke any of that mental game I had going for me. And I throw one of the worst shots of the day. I throw this swooping hyzer that goes almost in the dog park on hole 6. So there's a dog park off to the left-hand side and it's just terrible. So I'm like, all right, I still have a 1-stroke lead. I'm probably going to a playoff at this point. Joe goes for the kill shot, which on hole 6 is a 400-foot with a big ravine between the tee and the basket. I mean, there's a bunch of trees off to the right-hand side, and then there's a line of trees that are probably, 350, maybe a little short of that, 280 from the basket that you kind of, if you don't have the arm to get over the ravine, you kind of throw off to where the trees are and you want to go over them and land pretty close to the basket. That's what my intention was. I threw it way shorter than that. So Joe goes for the shot to land on the green and he hits the top limb of the trees and it falls all the way down into the ravine. I see him shoot up, so I know I can take a bogey pretty much unless he makes a 80-footer. And that's pretty much what I did. I just tossed it up, tossed another one up. He took a bogey, I took a bogey, and I won my first ever tournament.
Nice.
Yeah. I do want to give Chad Larson a shout out because he took some time out of his day that week. I know maybe it was the week before that and just watched me throw and gave me some pointers. So that was nice of him to take the time and give me some free advice on how to improve some of my shots. So that's been very helpful recently.
Absolutely. 2 things I'd like to point out. One, even though we're going over the round now, you still got your first win before Evan got his first win.
Sure did.
Just pointing that out.
I
And 2,
that.
I've got twice as many wins as both of you. I'm just saying.
Good to know.
It would have been 3 times, but Corey put something in my food and made me sick at Kisco Classic one year. But,
That wasn't me.
sure
I have an
it
alibi.
wasn't. Sure it wasn't.
I was out practicing somewhere.
Likely story.
Well, goals. It's the race to 2.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
I'll tell you, though, when I won my 2, it was much easier. There were so many less people playing, so good luck, fellas. There were no Tomas Salezes around, so.
I think I get opportunity before you, Evan, though, right? You're not playing this weekend, are you?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I hope you would know.
I mean, I'm not playing April Showers. No, I don't think I have anything going on. Sorry. Caught me off guard. Pat, you don't have to put that in.
Oh, I will. Don't get me wrong.
Great.
No. All right. Warwick Tuesday dubs. Rob Valecki shot a -13, and I assume playing Cali. And he tied Ryan Kenny and Steve Brinster, who also shot -13. Don't know if there was a tiebreaker there, but like I said, this is the week of ties. You guys up for a quiz?
Yep.
Sure.
All right. 2 3s or 3 2s?
I don't mind 3 2s if we keep it moving, but it's up to the group.
2 things. If we do 3 2s, and you guys can decide, I'm fine either way, but we'll still just do 2 rounds. And what we'll do is halfway through, we'll reverse the order.
I'm down
I
with
like
it.
it.
Agreed.
That way, if somebody gets stuck behind a team that keeps missing answers and then, gets a bunch of freebies. Any ideas on teams?
Somebody else could do this one. I know Alex always supplies us with scores, but somebody else could pick teams this time, other than just me picking teams. Somebody prove your worth. This is a contract year. You want to get left behind?
Can you look at current DisCap tags? Is that anything?
You could if you want to bring them up. Yeah, go for it. Look at them.
I mean, the Royal U. I close the tab. When it's trivia time, I close all the tabs except for Zencaster.
If Jaimen said that, I would be, okay, fine, Jaimen, you get a pass. I know how the tabs can get on your laptop. No one else has an excuse.
All right. Disc
I got
golf
I got it up.
scene.com/
You're going by tags?
Corey
league.
is 3.
Oh,
Randy
now
is
we know.
5.
How's Corey got the 3 tag?
Yeah. Well, he
So I
lost,
lost
it
the
to-
1 tag, that's why.
Yeah, he lost the 1 tag.
He's played 4 whole rounds.
Randy's the 5 tag. Jaimen's the 9 tag.
Alex is 39.
Yep.
Alex is so I'm 43
I'm 47.
and you're 47.
Can you sort it by rounds played? No, I'm just kidding.
36 for you.
So how does that help determine, is it the first?
I don't know. It
top
gives you an
2
order of
tags?
names. You could make the top 2 captains or the top 3 captains and pick their
Or
partners.
go top
I don't know.
to worst, and
Or you
then
could do top
second
and bottom,
best.
top and
Yeah,
bottom. top and
offset
bottom.
If we did it like that, like AC pairings, it would be
Oh, I like that.
Corey and Evan,
me and Corey.
Tim, Randy, and Alex.
I actually like those teams.
It's
Yeah.
it's something.
Never
All right.
upset to be playing with Randy.
So just to clarify,
Hold on.
Corey,
Trying to get on that Tyler game, huh?
Corey and Evan, what was the second one?
Technically, I'm not
Tim and
opposed
Jaimen.
to it, but it technically would be Randy and me because Randy's 5.
Oh, Randy's got the 5.
and
Yeah,
I'm
it'd be me
40,
and Jaimen.
Yeah, and I'm 43.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, good call.
I didn't
good
think
call.
Randy had a good tag.
Yeah,
Way to speak up.
His partner was me, of course he would.
I didn't want to be rude, but I didn't want to be wrong either.
So Randy is with Tim,
Yeah, that's what the tags
Yes.
say.
and then Alex and Jaimen. That's still, I mean,
Yeah, I'm still not.
Quick
upset.
shout out Brian Biggersmith for helping get tags sorted. Basically, 2 people came out of Disc Golf League Friday at Greenville with the wrong tags, and that bled into the Wild West round that I put in with a few other people, but it's all good now.
Nice.
That's why he's the match verifier extraordinaire.
And he's just a pleasure to, communicate with and just understands the issue and is super helpful. So a real killer at tag administration.
just don't message him on March 28th. Only Brian will probably get that.
Is that Margaret Thatcher Day or something?
No, 28-3.
Oh, poor guy.
Brian probably would have got that case. He loves to speak in riddles, which is why it's funny you said he's a pleasure to communicate with.
All right, so we got 3 rounds. 2 will be used. The other one will be used at a later date. Corey and Evan, category 1, category 2, or category 3?
3.
You agree, Evan?
Of course.
All right. Question 1, category 3. What 2000 song includes the lyric, "Look at the stars, look how they shine for you"? What 2000 song includes the lyric, "Look at the stars, look how they shine for you"?
Don't like this one.
It's a Coldplay song.
Oh, look how they shine. It was all yellow.
There you go.
Yellow.
I agree.
Is the yellow a disc?
Did you know the name? Were you just leading me on, or you just?
Yeah, I wanted to hear you sing.
Okay, all right. Like I said, I think I mentioned this before. It's my mom's cleaning music. Tears for Fears and Coldplay was always
Ooh.
blasted in the home stereo system on Sunday morning. When
Tears
I was
for Fears is definitely S tier.
Yeah, I love them now. Is the yellow a disc? Yikes.
Strong maybe, but it's also weird.
Yeah, it's weird enough. It's just weird enough to work. I say yes.
Okay.
You guys agree?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yellow disc. Delta Mold LLC, April 21st, 2025.
It's dark.
I'm sorry, today?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it is.
Randy and Tim, category 1, category 2, or category 3?
Do you want random colors or something new?
Yeah, let's try something new. Let's go 1.
1? Works for me.
All right. Question 1, category 1. What term can be used to describe a pile of pitched hay or a place for the pitcher to stand? What term can be used to describe a pile of pitched hay or a place for the pitcher to stand?
Is it as easy as a mound?
Yeah, that's the only thing that came to mind.
Right? Let's go with
You guys
the
agree?
mound. Yeah.
Is the mound a disc?
Oh, that's terrible.
I hate that.
hate it. Like real, but baseball maybe. But I'm gonna throw a mound. I hate it.
I don't even want to go yes, like to entertain it.
Yeah,
Because
me
like if
too.
we're wrong, it's like just bad
Yeah,
marketing.
I agree. Like that's their fault, not ours.
Yeah,
Right?
let's go now.
Yeah. No.
You are correct.
Thank
Let's
God.
go.
All right, Alex and Jaimen, your categories have been decided. Would you like category 1 or 3?
You got a preference?
Nope, they're both the same right now.
Let's go 3 then.
Like it.
All right. Question 2, category 3. What 1971 song includes the lyric, "You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one"? What 1971 song includes the lyric, "You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one"?
Oh shit, what's it called?
I'm coming up with the same thing. I'm like, I recognize the song.
John Lennon.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
Oh, crap. Why can't I remember the name of this freaking song?
That's the only words that are coming to mind now. Damn it.
Oh, it's Imagine. It's just...
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
You guys agree?
It was, yeah.
Yep.
Is the Imagine a disc?
Oof.
Is the Imagine a disc?
I feel like it should be.
I'm all right with it.
And maybe
Yeah.
not should be, but I feel like it is in the range of possibility. So I feel good about yes.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'm game.
You guys agree?
Yeah.
Ferris State University, June 22nd, 2011.
What?
We got colleges making discs now? What?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what was the date?
June 22nd, 2011.
Okay, we did have colleges making discs. That doesn't say that they still are.
Yeah, it could have been like a class project.
Yeah, like shop class. Like, instead of bringing in like some dilapidated vehicle, they're like, we're making discs today.
So we're tied after one round. Corey and Evan, category 1 or category 3?
It also took me a minute to think of that song because all I could hear in my head was Corey singing Coldplay.
Yeah, that song I knew like almost immediately.
I don't know that one.
I could sing like the whole thing.
So Corey, I've known both of the ones in category 3, but I'm curious about what category 1 is. It could go 2 directions for me right now, but you can pick. I guess more confident in 3, I guess, is the short version of that.
Yeah, so I feel like we should go with 1 then.
Okay.
So that's kind of a strat.
Yeah, I get it.
Steals maybe.
You're going with 1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Question 2, category 1. Of the 7 deadly sins, which is the only one that is also a type of animal? Of the 7 deadly sins, which is the only one that is also a type of animal?
Man, I truly wish I remembered some of them. You know them all, right, Evan?
I know enough of them off the top of my head to know the answer is sloth.
Okay, I did not know that was one of them. Yeah, okay, sure.
You guys agree?
Yeah.
Is the sloth a disc?
Gotta be. That's gotta be a disc. Sloth has been too much of like a, not a meme, but like people have been infatuated with sloths and like the Ice Age movie. So I'm gonna say it is a disc.
I filed this one under I hope so.
Yeah.
So we'll go yes.
You guys agree?
hmm
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, no.
Wow. Okay. Sid's pissed.
Somebody get on that.
I have a disc with a sloth on it.
I used to have a disc with a koala on it.
I got one of those too.
I got 2 of them.
You guys should all give those to Tucker.
He's got
It's got
nothing
his name on it, too.
Randy and Tim, category 1 or category 3?
Do you want to sing?
I mean, after last week, I had to listen to the Beastie Boys because I didn't know like one of those. So I don't think we should go with the music ones.
All right, let's stick with
Yeah.
1. Yep.
Pat, you should clip what Randy just said as a screaming advertisement for this program. You've done a public service. That's a great thing to hear.
All right. Question 3, category 1 for Randy and Tim. Which one of the simple machines and adaptation of the inclined plane can be used to split a log? Which one of the simple machines and adaptation of the inclined plane can be used to split a log?
Is that a wedge?
The wedge?
that's
Yeah.
Yep.
You guys agree?
Yeah.
Yep.
Is the wedge a disc?
I've seen a disc with wedge written on it.
So far, they've both been no.
This is at least
Yeah.
like golf, like, like a
Right.
chipping wedge. Like
Right.
this at least sounds like it could be applied. I go yes.
Yeah, it works. Yeah, I like your logic. It makes sense that it's golf related.
All right, we're going yes.
Innova Champion Discs, December 9th, 2010.
Heck yeah.
All right. Alex and Jaimen, category 1 or category 3?
So I know what category 1 is. I'm not sure what category 3 is.
I'm good with either one still. Do you want to go with what we know? What you know?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Which
Uh,
one?
That's category 1.
Going category 1? All right. Question 4, category 1. What largest South American member of the camel family makes a good guard animal for sheep and other livestock? What largest South American member of the camel family makes a good guard animal for sheep and other livestock?
I guess it's a llama?
Oh, okay. That seems camel-y. I like it. Would it be alpaca? Damn.
No, because I know what the category is.
Okay, then yes, I like that.
You guys agree?
Yeah.
Is the llama a disc?
Is the llama a disc? I feel...
Anytime it's an animal, it feels like a really good choice of yes, but then again, sloth was not, so...
Yeah, I kind of want to go with yes, but like I feel like I'm just like remembering the alpaca, which is a disc.
Yeah, I mean, they're in the same category, so it makes sense if somebody's making an alpaca, they would probably also make a llama.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I feel like it's yes, but I couldn't give you a good reason why.
I was also feeling like yes, so let's do it.
All right, that sounds good.
You guys agree?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm sorry, no.
Dang it.
Womp.
Yeah, so are we inverting the order now?
I wanted to ask about that. Are you guys cool? That basically means they get another question, and then we'll go the reverse order. I was just thinking about it, like, are you guys cool with that?
I mean, I'd love the next question, but, that's one vote. I think it was mentioned previous, so.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
It was mentioned previous. In reality, I'm thinking, they get another question, and theoretically an easier question.
Yeah, they did get the hardest out of the ones.
That's true. You guys didn't get the first question, so I guess in that regard, it evens out. Halfway through, I got Randy and Tim at 4, Corey and Evan, and Alex and Jaimen at 3. So Alex and Jaimen, what category? Category 1 or 3?
I would go back to 1.
All right, that sounds good.
All right, question 5, category 1. What was the nickname of the legendary Portland Trailblazer, Clyde Drexler? What was the nickname of legendary Portland Trailblazer, Clyde Drexler?
Oh boy.
I have made a mistake. Knowing the category only gets you so far.
You do know the category?
I am very confident in it.
Would it be disruptive if you told me what the category was? I tried to keep track of them, but I lost track and I don't even know where I am anymore.
I'm about... I don't think it would help you.
Okay,
Help me.
that's fair. That's fair. It would probably help anybody else more than me, so hold on to it.
Yeah, that's the thought.
Yeah, that's good. Can we hear the question again? Clyde Drexler.
What was the nickname of legendary Portland Trailblazer, Clyde Drexler?
Clydesdale?
Don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's not a bad guess, but I don't know. I got nothing.
Yeah, I got nothing at all. Yeah, unless you want to message me the thing quick.
Yeah, I'll send it to you quick, but I don't. Yeah.
All
like I
right.
said.
So Portland Trailblazer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Message received.
I got nothing. Not on that. Not that front. Yep. I got nothing. Clydesdale.
Clydesdale.
Going Clydesdale?
Yeah.
Randy and Tim, what was the nickname of legendary Portland Trailblazer, Clyde Drexler?
Randy, you know it?
No idea.
The Glide.
What?
Clyde the Glide.
You guys agree?
Yes, with all of my body.
Is the Glide a disc?
Pretty sure it is.
Yeah.
Discraft, October 6th, 2004, Ace Race disc.
Yeah. I no clue.
Yeah, that's fair.
Clyde the Glide. He glided through the air.
Glowed.
Glowed.
It's
yes,
glowed.
Is it really?
No, glided.
I was going to say, glided does not sound good, but no version of any of that word.
No.
All right, so Randy and Tim, your regular category, what would you like?
Do you know what one is? Because I have no clue.
I had no idea. Like, Alex kept talking about how I'm like, I have no idea what this is.
Nope.
So do we want to go to 3 because it could be easier?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, question 3, category 3. What title character in a 1958 song said, ooh-ee, ooh, ah-ah, ting-tang, walla, walla, bing bang? What title character in a 1958 song said, ooh-ee, ooh, ah-ah, ting-tang, walla, walla, bing bang?
Yeah, I definitely made a mistake.
The only thing that's coming to mind, Randy, is Tommy Pickles.
And the timeline's wrong on that.
Yeah, right. It's definitely wrong, but I know in the Rugrats movie they sing that song.
That's fair. It turns out those are the only lyrics to that song that I know. I can sing that.
Yeah, me too. Title character.
I can sing it faster in my head for like the second part because they repeat it. At no point in between do they say the title character.
Oh, this is terrible.
Did they sing that song in like a movie too? No, so I know you said the Rugrats.
In 1999 they did, but I don't know about 1958. Actually, I have no idea what it's for, but
Is it in the movie about Goofy Car? Why can't I think
Herbie?
of the name of it? Nope. Like older, like
older than Herbie. You got me. That's the oldest car I know.
no, I don't got it. Let's go with Tommy Pickles.
Tommy Pickles.
You guys agree?
Yep.
Yeah.
What do you think, Corey and Evan? What title character in a 1958 song said, ooh-ee, ooh-ah-ah, ting-tang, walla-walla, ah-bang bang?
I thought I came up with a decent guess until I heard the question again and heard 1958. Do you know what it is, Evan?
I think so. What's your guess? Or do you want me to just say what I think it is?
My first, well, it was definitely not my first thought. It's a good thing they took so long. But like eventually I came up with like Chipmunks, like Alvin, but I don't know if
They probably did a cover of it. I think the title of the song and the character that says that is the Witch Doctor. And it goes, I called the Witch Doctor. He told me what to do. He said, hit it, Randy.
No. I didn't know there were more words to that song.
That's like the setup, and then the ooh-ee is the punchline, so to
So
speak.
Randy, you lied to me. They did say who
The,
was
the chorus, if you will.
so. You're saying the answer is Witch Doctor,
I do think that is the answer. I'm 93% sure.
and this was a category 3.
Yes.
I mean, okay, yeah, I won't fight you on that one. That's for sure.
You guys agree?
Yeah,
Is the Witch Doctor a disc?
I like that as a disc.
It could potentially be culturally insensitive, but that doesn't mean it's not a
What
disc.
isn't these days?
I was trying to tiptoe around it. Yeah, it
No,
might not be. It might not be very woke, Corey. But to say that, it seems like a dated reference. But it could be. I don't know.
Yeah. I do like it less now, and being 2 words also does not give it points.
And we've had 2 yeses in a row in this category. I'm like 55% no, but
Yeah. Okay. Let's.
if
go
you
with
love
no.
it,
No,
if you
let's go
love
with
it, it's a steal too.
no. True. Good point. Great point. Actually. Yeah. Let's go with no.
You guys agree?
Mm-hmm.
Gateway Disc Sports,
Oh,
April 21st,
Terry Hudson's yelling at me
2025.
You know,
Sorry,
Gateway
T-Hud.
isn't a company known to be woke.
Sorry, T. Yeah, of course not. Sorry, T. Hood.
No.
I don't know what that means.
I knew that, and I knew it was a disc, and I went with the wrong category.
So the answer was yes, but we got it wrong. Okay.
And it's your question. 2 things. 1, like I said, it came out today. And 2, Randy, were you thinking of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang with the car?
Yep, that's what I was thinking of.
Oh. Wait, did you say the Witch Doctor came out today?
Today, April 21st, 2025.
Sorry, I was talking over you, and that's rude. I apologize.
No, that's fine. Now that you're not super loud, you'll still be able to hear me under you. So that was definitely that out,
Great.
so it's never mind.
I did turn that down from last week. Sorry.
Was the Witch Doctor really that recent?
Today, yeah.
I guess.
I was so confident it was Gateway, and
Yeah,
Wow.
I swear
Yeah.
I've seen.
Well, I mean,
a
it
Witch
makes
Doctor
sense, like
before.
shaman and
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a shaman, which is
wizard,
Voodoo,
mate. What's the other one? Oh, magic.
like
Anyway,
Warlock.
Warlock. That's what I was thinking. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you for at least naming discs that I've already used.
Oh,
Yeah,
jeez.
yeah.
Yeah, right. What are we doing? Tim, how many dollars is that?
At least 5.
Oh, jeez. All right. So, Corey, good news. I also know category 1,
Oh, okay.
but I think 3 is also doable, and I've known them all. So I don't know. I guess who gets the next question? It goes back to Jaimen and Alex. So we should try and get 6 because they get a chance. Well, yeah, if we don't do it, then they get it. I don't know. What do you think?
Whatever you just came up with, you
Category 1, it makes sense. I'd have like the teams, and then I have arrows going both directions for the switch up with the order.
Oh yeah, you got a real Pepe Silva going on.
I haven't gotten out the push pins and string yet, but I think we should do category 1.
All right, I'm with it.
All right, final question, category 1, question 6. Springfield, Missouri has America's only tram ride through a real and fantastic what? Springfield, Missouri has America's only tram ride through a real and fantastic what?
Oh, if I've ever been to our Springfield office for work, I might know exactly what it was.
I mean, there's one of them in every state, right?
Yeah.
Wait, what did I say?
No, I was joking about Springfield. It's not true,
Oh.
but people think that there's a Springfield in every state.
Yeah, at first I thought, like, did I say something about capital? Because that would have sounded
No.
really stupid. So you know the category in this one, Evan, or
Yeah, I do, but
you know the answer?
not off the top of my head because
All right, quick, shoot me a message. What is the category?
the category is it's a large category of potential answers.
Or just say it out loud. Who cares?
It is the final question.
Yeah, Evan, say it out loud.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's fish songs.
Oh my god, I'm not gonna know this jam band.
That
bullshit.
helped me zero.
I didn't think it would
I don't
help a
know
lot of people.
single
Yeah.
song.
And here's
Tag
why,
it.
and
Tag
here's
it.
where maybe you can clip it, but I think I've asked probably more than twice.
I think at least 4 times, Evan.
I would bet that you're probably right, Tim. I don't argue when you come to numbers of things, but I've said more than, yeah. Anyway, the tram goes through
Like park,
a park.
mall.
Oh, okay. I have a guess. Yeah.
All right.
Could it be a trampoline park? Oh, since we've already said the category, so one of the things that they do during their concerts sometimes is that Trey and Mike will bounce on trampolines together.
Okay, but do they have the tram goes through Springfield, Missouri?
I don't know. You said park.
Yeah, I'm just. I was thinking more of like a grass park, like a green space that a tram might go through.
I was thinking like an indoor, like.
Can you ask the question again, Pat? feel
I
like
don't
my
know,
part
man.
needs to hear it again.
Springfield, Missouri has America's only tram ride through a real and fantastic what?
A real and
I don't know.
You don't know your fish song?
There's a lot of them, man.
They have like 7 of them that just like go for an hour.
I took a trip to Long Island with Liam and Eric Mowry, and pretty sure we only heard 3 songs the entire trip. So, it takes a while to get through those puppies.
There's a fish song called Cavern.
Cavern.
Does that make more sense?
Yep. Let's go with that.
Okay.
Cavern.
I agree with Corey.
What are you going with?
Cavern.
Is the cavern a disc?
Yes.
Yeah, I almost went, they call me the sloth right after that first answer went in. I'm like, oh, wait, no, that's what it is.
It's actually called Fantastic Cavern. Is the cavern a disc? This could tie you for the lead.
Oh, that's it?
What's that trash pan? Oh no, we had that one. That was Canyon, I think. Cavern. Ooh.
I would say, God, but it's like rock formations or outcroppings. This is kind of like a nice category for disc. I would say yes, kind of though, unless you really don't like it.
I was also kind of yes.
Okay, let's go kind of yes, Pat.
I'm going to take that as a yes, though, not the kind of part.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry, no.
Damn it.
All right, final round. I got Randy and Tim at 6, Corey and Evan at 5, Alex and Jaimen at 3. Alex and Jaimen got 3 questions left, all in category 3. Question 4. What 2013 hit song includes the lyric, "You held me down, but I got up"? Already brushing off the dust. What 2013 hit song includes the lyric, "You held me down, but I got up"? Already brushing off the dust.
I don't know this one.
Nope, I have no idea.
Held me down, but I got up.
Yeah, I don't have a freaking clue. Pop music is like complete black hole for me.
What's the I got knocked down, but I get up again song? Is that Fatboy Slim?
That did not happen in 2013.
I
That's
know.
Chumbawamba.
It's a different song for sure.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing that I can think of.
Yeah, I don't know. Like 2013 makes me think Imagine Dragons, but I don't have any actual answers.
What did they do? They did
Believer.
Radioactive.
Believer, Bones. I like Radioactive. I don't know.
And we got Yellow, Imagine, Witch Doctor.
Are those all Beatles songs? Not that it.
Don't think so.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. Yellow Submarine had me thinking in the
Yeah.
direction of the Beatles.
Yeah. Yeah. Radioactive. Sure.
Yeah. I don't
I
think
got
I'm
nothing.
gonna manufacture anything.
All right. Randy and Tim, what 2013 hit song includes the lyric, "You held me down, but I got up"? Already brushing off the dust.
Do you know it?
Nope.
She just went to space.
Oh, it's a Katy Perry song?
Yeah, Roar.
Yeah, I don't know the lyrics to that song.
Oh, come
How
on.
do
You never
adult
heard-
men know
you
that?
don't sing that in the car while you're driving around?
No.
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 That's unfortunate.
Tim, what kind of car do you drive?
Corey, come on.
You already know it's a
A
minivan.
blacked out minivan.
Is it a Sienna? What do you got?
No, I have a Pacifica.
Nah, it's not.
Does
as
the
cool.
door still sound like a gunshot when you open it?
No, that's been fixed. Somebody
Good.
ran into the side of me, and every time I opened the door, it sounded like a gunshot going off. It was great. But yeah, Roar by Katy Perry.
You guys agree?
Yes.
Is the roar a disc?
I think it is, but
Yeah, sounds good. I don't hate it.
yeah, let's go yes.
You
Yes.
guys agree?
Yep.
I'm sorry, no.
Oh, gross.
Dang, somebody's missing out.
But I did trick Randy with he loves the 4-letter disc name.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's a great disc name that somebody's going to use it immediately.
All right, but that was a steal. You get this next one right, and I think that'd be enough to win.
Oof.
If you don't, you're giving Corey and Evan plenty of opportunities. Question 5, category 3. What 1999 song includes the lyric, "But I'll tell you one thing, if you would leave, it'd be a crying shame"? What 1999 song includes the lyric, "But I'll tell you one thing, if you would leave, it'd be a crying shame"?
This must be a Lil Wayne song.
You know that song that we were talking about last time?
hmm
He's credited as Dwayne. Remember I had that question?
Oh my God, kill me, dude.
That's how old it is.
He is my kryptonite, apparently. I cannot get a trivia question right if he's involved.
Can you say the lyric line one more time?
What 1999 song includes the lyric, but I'll tell you one thing, if you would leave, it'd be a crying shame?
I have nothing, Randy.
Nope. No clue.
It's not a Katy Perry song, so I don't know.
Is that really your depth? Is just Katy Perry songs?
Well, since she went to space, I've really dove deep into her catalog, so I've really been listening to that for the last few days.
99, there was a lot of popular like boy bands and stuff. Do we think it was like NSYNC or Backstreet Boys?
Every time I hear 99, all I think is Will Smith.
So it's Getting Jiggy with It is what we're going with.
Miami or something. I'm throwing out too many titles now.
It's neither of those for sure.
Definitely not. Yeah, I'm good with a boy band. What do you which one were you? Which side did you take? Were you a Backstreet Boy or an NSYNC?
No, I was an NSYNC child.
Randy was a 98 Degrees.
Oh, actually, yeah, let's be real.
Yeah. All right. I don't feel like it's NSYNC, but I was also NSYNC side. So
We have to pick a song if we're going with NSYNC.
That's true. It's not Bye Bye Bye.
It's going to be me. It's going to be May.
It's gonna be May. And now I can't think of any.
These are
song.
terrible disc names. Why did we just say it's going to be me out loud? That's not a disc name. Oh, that would be a great disc name. Hold on, though. You take it out of your bag. Like, it's going to be me.
Oh, that's true. That is a good one.
Did the previous names like link up at all?
Yellow, man. Which I have no idea.
No. Let's go with Toxic.
All right, Britney Spears. Let's go.
Yep.
You guys agree?
Yep.
What do you got, Corey and Evan? What 1999 song includes the lyric, but I'll tell you one thing, if you would leave, it'd be a crying shame?
Evan.
When Pat says that, I hear Carlos Santana playing guitar, and it's Rob Smith singing Smooth.
Oh, wait, Rob Smith. I was thinking Rob
Or wait.
Thomas.
His last name is
Rob Thomas. Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Sorry. No, sorry, Rob Thomas fans. You know what I meant, though.
So you told that story as if you weren't sure and just like came to you in a dream, but now
No,
I'm
it's-
getting the vibes like you know exactly what you're talking about, and that's exactly what the answer is.
The song is Smooth.
Okay, so I was right. Yeah, Smooth.
You guys agree?
Yep.
For the tie is the smooth, a disc.
I don't know. We've been bad on disc guesses. I'll tell you, my feeling is probably.
Yeah,
But I
so
don't
was
know.
mine.
So should we go against our instincts because they've been bad?
We
I
probably
don't know.
should, but what if we're wrong
Yeah.
about that too?
Yeah. I
Um,
like it as a disc name, if that helps.
Yeah, me too. I say Smooth is a disc.
You
All
guys
right.
agree?
I guess so.
All right. Well, slow is smooth, but smooth is not.
Oh, you mother.
But you still have an opportunity to win because you get the final question.
Oh yeah.
Boy.
Category 3, question 6. What 1990 song includes the lyric, all we have to see is that I don't belong to you and you don't belong to me? What 1990 song includes the lyric, all we have to see is that I don't belong to you and you don't belong to me?
Well, I'm feeling like it's probably like Madonna or Paula Abdul or Janet Jackson or something like that.
I was thinking more like Puddle of Mud.
Yeah. Okay. Have you heard that guy sing that Nirvana song? Have you ever seen that video?
Oh yeah, I heard it. It's terrible.
Oof.
Do we hear it one more time and then?
Yeah,
I
one
know
more
it's for the
time and
win,
then
but damn.
I know.
What 1990 song includes the lyric, all we have to see is that I don't belong to you and you don't belong to me? Mets beat the Phillies tonight. Just saying, 5-4.
Let's go.
Sorry, I didn't really think, Evan, you might be recording it. I don't know. But
No, it's fine. Is that 5 in a row?
yeah.
Mm,
I just, it for me, it means they don't get swept by the Phillies. So I'm still in Met fan space where you just keep your fingers crossed the whole time.
They'll be back there soon.
I don't know.
yeah, me neither.
I don't know. Heartbreaker. I don't know.
You guys good?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
All right. Alex and Jaimen, what 1990 song includes the lyric, all we have to see is that I don't belong to you and you don't belong to me?
I don't have any clue.
Yeah, I got nothing either, unfortunately. I keep coming up with like inversions of it where it's like you belong to me, but I got nothing.
Yeah.
Want to throw out a guess?
I got nothing.
Yeah,
I
right.
can't, I can't
It's-
even come up with a...
No.
Yeah,
All right. We're going to go with nothing.
nothing.
Judges, was it nothing? No, I'm sorry. Randy and Tim, you are our winners tonight, but do you know what 1990 song includes the lyric, all we have to see is that I don't belong to you and you don't belong to me?
I just want to go back to Puddle of Mud in 1990, Corey.
I mean, it could have been when they were just before they went mainstream, you know.
Okay, just was wondering. Okay. I'm pretty sure it's George Michael's Freedom.
Wow. Okay.
You guys
Send
agree?
it.
Yeah,
Is the Freedom a disc?
I think it's dynamic. I'm not totally sure, but
I have no idea, so I'm on board.
You guys agree?
yep.
Yeah,
Dynamic discs. What year, Randy?
Oh, 2019.
Close.
What do you got?
I'm going to say 2017.
Tim?
Oh boy, I didn't even know it was a disc. I'm gonna go old. When did they start? They started in 12, so I'm gonna go 2014.
Dynamic Discs, The Freedom, July 14th, 2014.
Wow.
Weird.
How did you know that song so confidently?
Right.
Yeah.
Because I George Michaels. Come on, no,
That's exactly
nobody?
the point. That's
Nobody.
I only know the saxophone parts.
Yeah.
And it's usually referred to as Freedom 90, but that's just the year it came out. So I figured it was
I
loose
didn't know
enough
that.
to be, as Freedom as the answer.
Luckily, it didn't count, even if we did get it wrong.
That's
It's
true.
Freedom 90. I did not know that it was Freedom 90.
Well, like I said, I think that's just referencing the year it came out. So
Gotcha.
that lyric category just came out of the fact that Yellow and Witch Doctor came out today. So I just was inspired, and you
Yeah,
guys
just
didn't pick
song
category
titles.
too. So yeah, I just it was song lyrics. Yeah, I just figured use lyrics.
This whole
and-
time I was trying to figure. Jamin, I was on the same board with you. I thought it was Beatles right after Yellow and Imagine.
there's your first mistake.
Yep.
After Mound, I was almost going to say, is it a Fish song? Or is it a Fish song category? And I was like, you know what? Maybe it is, and I won't say anything. And then by the second one, I was like, oh man, he really did it. The crazy SOB did it.
I'm pretty sure I said I would never do it, so that's the perfect reason for me to do it.
I love it.
Didn't
And then
help
I
you
thought
guys
you were
either.
going to get George Michaels there when you said Madonna.
No.
It's driving me crazy. He keeps calling him George Michaels.
Oh, sorry.
It's
Michael.
singular
Georgie Michaels.
It's George Michael. Sorry, you're right.
It's okay. Gunks Monday dubs, Michael Nicoli and Dennis Flynn, shot a -5. Shank Creek dubs week 3, Levi V and Justin Hickok, shot a -8. So did Ryan Clare and Cody Canine, but Levi V and Justin Hickok came in first. CPS Thursday dubs point series week 1, 3 teams shot -11. Daryl Menton, Cody Canine, so did Kyle Moore and Kevin Wen, and Tyler the Cannon Gannon and Dennis Daly. And Saturday in Long Island, the Beat Ron Gilardi tag round, Anthony Fellows shot a -8, and it looked like most everybody beat Ron Gilardi. So, Jaimen, when's your volunteer tournament?
May 4th.
May 4th, Star Wars Day. This weekend is April Showers, and what'd you say, the Southern Tier Open?
Yep.
All right, and that's where you're going, Jaimen?
Yep.
All right, well, good luck.
Thank you.
Were there any birthdays this past week?
Adam Stallman is coming up. His birthday, well, actually, by the time this comes out, his birthday was on Thursday, I think.
Awesome.
Yeah, Thursday.
Happy
Shout out
birthday.
Adam Stallman.
Absolutely. So thank you, Tim, Corey, Evan, Randy, Alex, Jaimen, and Jason. And sweet up, Hudson.
Thanks, Pat.
Thanks, Pat.
Thanks, Pat.
Thanks, everybody.
I had my mic muted because I don't think anyone wanted to have Mike and Ike ASMR video or audio.
Yeah, I'm going to eat pizza during this because it just came out of the oven like 5 minutes ago. But I will mute my mic. Probably.
That's what editing is for, man.
See how this goes. Weak, damn it. I cracked open this 12-ounce PBR can a little while ago. One of the crispiest cracks I've ever heard from a 12-ounce can of beer. Or soda. Or anything, really. Even seltzer.
Did you just like Google like beer can opening and listen to it?
You probably could, yeah.
No, I feel like you did though.
Oh, no. I have the evidence right next to me, the empty can that I was referring to.
Does the size of the can matter as far as the loudness of the pop or crack?
I don't know. I just opened up a 16-ounce can, and it wasn't as good, that's for sure.
Should we do some research, like get a Foster's, get like, skinny cans, see what we can do?
I could see the argument just from common sense that, like, wait, are these even the same style cans on top? Because I feel like they changed the tabs. Yeah. Less liquid for the sound to travel through, possibly,
Be like wind chimes, right? The longer they are, the lower frequency they are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, could a White Claw can actually have like a crisper crack because it's less liquid?
I'll grab a bunch and then open them and see if you guys can guess what they are.
Hey, Tim, I thought you'd be a bit later.
Yeah, practice ended a little bit quicker than I thought. Do I sound okay this time?
Yeah.
Okay. Greg Kurtz told me it sounded like I was last time I called in from the car as I was driving home.
It makes sense. You said something about a setting.
Yeah, I pushed a button, or the kids pushed the button on my mic, so it reset it to something terrible. So
I didn't realize until editing this week that last week Evan was loud as fuck.
yeah,
Yeah, he was.
he said something, and I'm like, it wasn't bad at first, but you could hear it like spiking at the end of the episode.
I should have told him to turn his boost down. I don't know. I think After a while, I got used to it. But then I wonder, like, when you pump it through the, whatever it is that kind of, what's what I'm looking for with the audio, it kind of equalizes it all.
Yeah.
The leveler. I wonder if it, like, makes everyone else a little quieter because it has to level it out so much.
While I was editing, I actually messaged him and I told him, I said, I just realized it now that you were super loud. And he's like, that's cool. So when he gets on, we'll figure that out. But I did notice after it goes through the filter, it lowered him, but it also lowered, like I remember him talking with Randy and I was like, wow, Randy's really low now. And I think it's, like you said, it's as a response. They lower him and as a result, other people get lowered too. So
yeah, I noticed mine would come back up once I was talking alone, but like talking right after Evan, it would be like super quiet.
Nobody's looking at each other. We're all in different rooms, and obviously, and I'm probably the worst culprit of it myself, but like talking over people, I find when I'm editing, because I try to listen to what both people said and maybe shift and this and that. But a lot of times if somebody's so loud, they actually distort what the other person said and it's not usable. So that's another reason not to have it. What's his name when he came on, that JVD guy, talking about how he had his really low? He probably knows a lot more about this shit than I do. I've been doing this almost 6 years now. But May 1st will be 6 years and I still don't know what the fuck half this shit is,
No enough, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's just, my feeling has always been I'd rather just do it. You know what I mean? Just put something out and, it's better than nothing to listen to. So Evan should be on. Well, let me do, I wrote up a quick intro. I had to change it because I expected Tim to be much later.
Blame the kids. They got done with baseball way quicker than they were supposed to.
Yeah, I had a whole joke about you having to drop the kids off at the pool. So that's not going to work.
Made it anyways.
Yeah.